This is a Gravy Wheels podcast. My name is Franklin. Who even fucking cares anymore?
Hi, I'm Andrew. Yep.
And ditto.
Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
That's a nice burgundy guitar you got there, Ron.
What is that, keyboard? Keytar?
I was gonna name it Ron Burgundy.
That's a weird mandolin you've got.
It's a weird... It does not slice vegetables very well.
I was
Do
gonna say,
they
that's
usually
a strange cheese slicer.
do they usually make sitars that size?
Yes.
I'm trying to think about what other stringed instruments there are. Harp.
Harpsichord.
It's a weird harp.
The Jew harp,
Banjo.
which has no strings. The banjo. Dude, when you're a lefty, you just gotta buy shit. You have to... If it's left-handed and it's available, you have to buy it, or else...
That's the most Frank shit I've ever heard. When you're a lefty, you just gotta buy shit.
Well, I mean, as someone who's left-handed for certain things, I understand.
Like golf
Respect
clubs.
that. Yes, like golf clubs.
Hey, you guys want to see this bus that I just 3D printed? It's Jada Pinkett Smith.
I thought you said bus, so I was thinking like the Fortnite bus. I don't think you could
Yeah,
say
me
that,
too.
by the way.
What?
Leave Jada alone. Just fucking leave her alone.
You see this shit? Chris Rock? Fuck you, man. My feelings were hurt the other night. That's all I have to say. And
Because
Will
your hair is
Smith
receding?
stood up for all us balding males.
You guys want to know a pro tip? You take a liquid IV packet and a Kool-Aid packet and you mix them together.
You sure that wasn't a hot hands? Might
One
want
of
to
the
be careful.
silica packets that comes in your beef jerky?
Yeah. How am I looking back here? Is this thinning yet? Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
dude,
Look at
it's
that.
bad, dude.
Look at that, boys.
Yeah,
Just
it
get you
happens, man.
Get you some brown spray paint.
We all gonna
Son
get
of a shit. I've never looked at it before, man.
So I'm never
No,
going
it's not.
bald. Look at
It's
this.
not good, dude. Where'd you get the curls from, dude? Neither one of your parents have... Wait, does your dad have curly hair?
My dad used to have an afro.
I wish I could have seen that.
And I guess, here's a funny story. Way back in the day, he would they would put a trash bag over his head, and they would make him, they would make him smoke. They would make him smoke a joint underneath the trash bag, and then they would take the trash bag off, and then everybody would smack all the weed smoke out of his hair.
They just use bendy straws to suck the smoke out of his fro.
Entertainment was different back then.
Way different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have
How you
VR
boys doing?
headsets.
Doing good, man.
We missed a week, right? Did we miss last week?
At least one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know things got
Frank's-
rocky there for a while.
Frank's gout was flaring up.
I think we still had some content going up on the channel though. Got a little bit of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, we still had. I'm still doing playing my shitty Game Boy games that nobody cares about.
Fuck yeah, dude. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody has to play those games,
It has to happen.
or the world will end.
Goddamn right.
I think next week is probably not going to happen either because I am going to be in New York City, where they make salsa.
New York City.
So yeah, sorry about that.
Can't say that.
My wife's book is coming out. I'm gonna be there for the celebration.
Hell yeah. That'll be fun.
Easy beauty. Go for
Champagne
your-
and hors d'oeuvres. That kind of party, or
I don't know. It'll be at a bookstore, so whatever kind of food a bookstore serves.
oh, okay.
I heard on the lowdown, that you guys are gonna have Russian caviar, and I don't approve.
No, we decided
Shit
to
ain't right.
change. We're gonna get Ukrainian caviar instead. In solidarity.
It's a little, yeah. It did throw me off whenever we were at Hy-Vee over there by your place, Frank, and was getting some booze, and it's like, we are no longer selling Russian vodka or beers.
Oh,
That's
no.
how we're going to win the war, though. Or, well, not us, but that's a really cute Spider-Man.
It's a Daredevil, you pussy.
I thought the colors were off, but it was going by so quickly.
He's a crab, actually. That's why I was doing this. Who's that?
Oh, come on.
Chucky
Yeah.
from Child's Play.
Chuckles. Yep.
Hey,
Are we just
Chunky.
showing figurines right now? Is that what this is?
I mean, we typically do
That's
for
true.
a little while. What are those, Frank?
those are all my pills. The big
All
ones
your
are the
ED
fiber
medication?
ones. It still
All
won't
of your
get hard.
hymns?
It's the only way you can get hard.
Well, it usually involves a Walmart bag, but
finally opened this guy.
4 dozen earthworms.
I've had this dude sitting in my room for a long time, but he's been packaged because I just haven't bothered to open it.
What?
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 Your life is so off the rails. I just don't know what to. Every time I watch you exist, I'm just shocked.
Yeah, Andrew,
I like
you
that
need to get it
figurine.
together.
Thank you.
Speaking of that figurine, I had an old acquaintance reach out, and we might be getting in on some gameplay for the new Evil Dead game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
would
exciting.
love to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I watched, since my wife is out of town, and my son has sort of an interest in horror movies, but he's also a giant scaredy cat. We watched Evil Dead 2, and we also watched Army of Darkness.
Nice.
I don't wanna show
Evil Dead 1
because that's...
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that 2? That's a little. I wouldn't watch that with my kids.
Yeah, I just the whole tree raping scene is probably not is not my favorite.
There'd be a lot of awkward questions after that.
Also, like Evil Dead 2 is kind of funny. Like it's a lot more
Yeah.
fun than Evil Dead 1.
It
Evil
really
Dead 1 has like a
changed.
mean streak.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing against it.
So,
I'm just saying, that ain't-
speaking of watching stuff with kids, I watched the Halo show with my boys over the weekend, and I fully went in expecting the worst, and I came out very pleasantly surprised, interested in the story, and wishing that episode 2 was already out so I could see what happens next. So,
well, hot damn.
it really played out like, and I'll see what you guys think after you watch it, but to me it felt like watching a Star Wars saga type. You know what I mean? It was like it was very much the same, like just a different universe. There was a lot of like parallels.
It was almost like they had watched every single episode of The Mandalorian and kind of taken some cues from how that script was written.
I haven't seen any Mandalorian, so I can't speak to that. But did you actually watch it, Frank?
Oh, fuck no, not yet. No, 343 ruined it. I'm waiting until they make it better.
So
I'm waiting for 343 to patch the TV show.
yeah, the show is in a better state than the game right now. I'll say that.
That's not hard.
Not saying much. Yeah, the
saying much at all.
CGI. There was a lot of moments that it looked really fucking good, but then there was some moments that it was just like it seemed they got a little lazy. But it also wasn't as bad if you watched that Halo Nightfall or whatever the fuck that shit show was. It wasn't as bad as that. So, I think they were probably being careful with their budget and stuff to see if it would even get picked up and everything, and it's maybe noticeable in a couple scenes. But overall, it looked really cool. There's some really cool moments where they just like they really throw some shit in there for like the people that have been playing the game that you're like, oh, that was fucking badass. It's worth a watch. It was much more enjoyable than I expected.
I really want to see somebody kill somebody else with a magnum from like a mile and a half away.
There's definitely kills with the magnum, but maybe not at range. Much more close and personal. But there's some really fucking cool moments, and it also didn't hold back through. It was pretty graphic, which I appreciated.
One of those, what was Nightfall like sucked and like really wasn't graphic, and the CGI was dog shit, and you only get to see you only get to see a Covenant like once. But
Yeah, there's an elite in the beginning, and that's like it.
Yeah, what was the other one though? What's the
Forward Unto Dawn.
Well, you see the little spermy boys that make the fucking
Oh, you're saying what other like thing do you get to see in that shitty movie?
Yeah, you just see little spermy things that make the fucking hunters. But then
there was just the elite at the beginning, and then the hunter worms. I think right. That was it.
And then
creature wise.
and Forward Unto Dawn though was actually like pretty fucking good. Like the Needler scenes I enjoyed.
It was a long. Yeah, the Needler was like a really. It was a really like well cinematography choreographed moment. I don't know what I'm trying. I'm fucking dumb, but it was a long build up in that movie. It was a lot of the kids in training and shit. But I think it was necessary for the story. But then whenever shit popped off, it was really good. But yeah, episode 1 of the Halo show, you see like 50 times the amount of Covenant and action than in that entire fucking piece of shit Nightfall movie, and it looks better. So it's a good.
I'm excited. I won't say excited. I'm going to watch it though. How do you like Pablo Schreiber?
That's Master Chief?
Yes.
Nick Sabatka.
It was weird. Like the first time I heard his voice, I'm like, you cringe a little bit. But I by the end of the episode, I was in. I was like, okay, this is Master Chief. I've seen his face. That's John. He's got personality. These are the conflicts, and this is what he's dealing with, and it's good. I like it.
Cool. Okay, cool. I like that actor a lot. So
yeah, like I'm not gonna praise it to be the best show ever, but I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm sad that it's not all out, so I can just binge it and find out what happens.
Frank, did you watch American Gods?
No. He was okay. Pablo was in that.
Yes, he is.
I know him from a few things, but mainly from Frank Sabatka's son, Nicky Sabatka, from The Wire season 2.
Hell yeah!
Down at the
doc season, the best season.
Yeah, you could say that.
The first 2 are the best.
You could say that.
What is that you're playing with?
This?
Is that a whisk? A pocket whisk?
This is a keycap remover.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you just use a fucking pocket knife like everybody?
I was say I'm a heathen. I just grab whatever's close and kind of fits and might break shit.
Yeah, well, I bought a keyboard and it came with a keycap remover.
So now you have a keycap remover.
So now I have a keycap remover.
Fucking YOLO.
It's nice.
I had an idea for a game. It's an idea for a game.
Bet it involves fast food.
No, I gotta take a break from that though. It's gonna be hard because we're going on that trip, and then man, it's gonna be hard. But
are you taking your Xbox on that trip, dude? I just caught a fly in my mug. You just want to see it?
I'm gonna take. My laptop.
Wow! Like, look at him go.
You're like fucking Mr. Miyagi would fucking orgasm right now. Somebody actually caught the fucking fly.
God, I wish it would have really flown.
I know. I was just like, this is a bad idea.
That would have been good content.
Well, I think I'm gonna take. I don't know why I'm gonna do this, but I might take my Xbox and PS5 and my gaming laptop and my Switch.
Dude, when do you leave?
In like 3 fucking weeks, man.
Get what I got. Get the X screen.
But I don't have a. I have an X. I don't have a S.
I have an extra one. You want to buy it? Actually, they're in stock everywhere too. So if you want it, and they're only $2.99. But here's the thing:
you do have an S. I thought I bought you an S.
No, but that was a Christmas present for my kids.
Oh,
okay.
But here's the thing: like, if you plan on doing any traveling at all, and it's kind of in your realm of job equipment now, maybe consider. You know what I mean? That's why I got it for like whenever we decide to go do a trip or whatever. I can take it and not only have like my Amazon Prime and my fucking Netflix and all that shit already signed in, and I don't have to worry about trying to use the fucking TV in the hotel or bringing my laptop and blah blah blah. I'll have that, and then I can also get some clips for Twitter and shit while I'm traveling. And it's all in. It comes with a fucking. Well, you actually have to buy it separate, but it's got a carrying case. It's all right there. All you need is a power cord. You're good to go.
I don't know in what world that is easier than just doing it with your laptop.
I just don't like having. I like to have my entertainment separate from my like work computer. Does that make sense? I don't know why. I think it's just a personal preference.
No, I can understand that.
But in my mind, I'm always like, well, but what if I need to send an email while I'm watching Lost? I don't.
How much? Was
Yeah,
that
no, it
stupid
doesn't
screen?
make sense, but
How much was that stupid screen?
it's like $300 or something. It's pretty crazy, but
What?
What?
or maybe it's $199. But yeah, I think it's $199. But then I got the carrying case too.
So we just kind of completely skipped over this. I might be quitting my job and going out to the desert for like half a month. It's a
Good
normal
deal.
thing to do when you're in your 30s, right? Just have a little
Frank's
life crisis.
starting
Yeah, you're
his
gonna
own.
have that.
He's
that
starting his
crisis
own
has gotta
Burning
come
Man.
up.
I mean, I don't know what's worse. Like, I don't know. I did a similar thing. I wasn't in the industry for near as long, but I had a well-established career in the restaurant game. Like, moved my way up the ladder, had, the management offered many times, turned it all down, but I was on the corporate training team. I opened like 10 fucking stores or whatever, and then all of a sudden, I was like, fuck it, I'm out this bitch. I'm gonna go play video games. And everybody was like, bitch, are you stupid? And I'm like, probably, but we'll see what happens. So,
Yeah.
Frank, you're doing it at a later age, and you've been in the industry longer, but, I mean, it is what it is, man. And my thing is that, like, your skill set is so niche that, like, I can't imagine you not being able to crawl back to the industry if you had to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not exactly... It's not like you were a fucking line cook at a Taco Bell.
And
trying
you already know that, like, as soon as you quit, you're going to be getting like requests from people.
I already fucking have.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know that this is just not going to stop for you because of your skill set is very specific. On the other hand, I have no skills, and I have never had a career.
And
so this is like...
my opinion on it, and what you should do, is do a little, like, freelance thing. Like, get yourself a fucking... maybe a business card or some shit, and, like, if people absolutely need Frank the Tank to come fucking, give his opinion or fix some shit, be like, here's my card, my rate is $35 an hour, name your fucking price, essentially. You could probably charge way more than that, because some of the shit you'd show up and fix in an hour and be gone. But, at that point, you're not employed by this one specific place that's gonna, fuck you on a salary job, on a salary contract and all that shit. Like, you're the guy. At that point, you have all the cards in your hand. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, and I'm going to go find me a bunch of San Pedro cactus out in the desert, and I'm going to eat all of it. I'm going to make tea with it, and then we're going to make some cooking YouTube videos and some hiking videos.
Without the peyote. I'm going to turn my AC on because I'm starting to sweat like a hard cock.
Hey, Andy Pants, I got a question for you.
What's up, buddy?
Are they mowing the grass over where you're at now? Have they mowed the grass for the first time of the year?
Yeah, they have actually.
Okay.
They did like a month ago, I think.
What?
Yeah. They did it like really weirdly early.
Huh.
But that's because in February it was like really, really nice.
There was like
Here.
an 80-degree day or two.
Yeah, exactly. It was weird. So shit started growing again because they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
They're mowing my grass today, and it smells so fucking good. I saw my first bunny rabbit of the year the other day, and it made me so goddamn excited because the bunny rabbits are back.
I've seen them. They didn't go away here. They were here all winter.
What's kind of fucking...
But I've been... What's ringing it in for me is the frogs. Out here in the country, you start hearing the frogs. And I started hearing those about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, they just say bud. Wise.
Zer. And then we buy Natty Light anyways because it's cheaper. That's how we do it out here, son.
If you drink Keystone, your mama's a hoe.
Gross.
Have you... What's the heavy shit? The Keystone...
Keystone Heavy.
Well, not heavy,
ice.
but
You're talking about Keystone
Natural
Ice.
Heavy.
ice.
You have
Yeah,
Natty
yeah,
Light, you have Natty Heavy.
because all the fucking they have like Natty Ice and Keystone Ice and all that shit, and it's like twice the percentage in the same fucking price. So it's like Fuck yeah. I went on a kick of that shit for a while.
I can't do that anymore. I used to do that. I used to, when I was up at one of my training seminars up in Michigan, I lived, my little, like, hotel was, like, 10 blocks or so away from the school. But there was, like, no booze or anything, like anywhere. I had to, like, get drinks at, like, the hotel bar, and it was fucking stupid expensive. But there was, like, a little, like, hood bodega type thing, like, 2 blocks away from the hotel. And these old black guys introduced me to Steel Reserve.
I was honestly waiting for a chance to be like, when I was in college, I drank a lot of Steel Reserve because.
Oh, and that stuff will kill you though, like slowly from the inside. I can't.
Yep. Katie and I were in a gas station one day, and we were looking at like the Tall Boys for some reason because we were like going to a concert or something. It was one of those like we need a fucking 47-ounce fucking can of beer right now. So, and there was a black guy in the gas station, and he's like, this right here, that's what you need. And we were like, all right, we'll try it. And that shit is it's hardcore, man.
Yeah.
No, and I would subsist on that, and I can't.
I think that's it's like the forbidden white drink. White people aren't supposed to know about that shit.
When I was in college, the big like drinks that we would hit, the things that would always be at any event was Steel Reserve, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and Franzia box wine.
Yeah.
Drank a lot of fucking box wine.
I had an ex-girlfriend, and our thing was like box wine. I got like 3 boxes of box wine downstairs right now.
I saw that when I was over there. I'm like, what the fuck you got boxes of wine for, dude?
We used to like put it in water bottles, so we would just you would come over to any of our houses and there would just be a shitload of like those Nestle super thin plastic water bottles with a bunch
Those
of
were your wine cups.
Yeah. And you don't spill them.
That's right.
Got caps.
Hell yeah, dude.
My teeth would just be stained fucking red. Oh.
Yep.
Remember Boone's Farm parties, man?
Oh.
Andrew, did you ever come to any of the parties with us?
I went to one party with you guys once.
Where was it? I'm curious.
Was it a
I honestly don't remember.
It probably would have been one at like my place, which were usually pretty low key, but
It wasn't your place. It was definitely someplace I'd never been before.
It might have been. Was it like an abandoned house?
Fuck it, I don't know. It felt like a trailer, maybe.
And maybe the only trailer thing that I remember doing was the LAN parties.
I don't remember.
No,
that.
I have no
remember
idea
being in that
whose place
trailer
it
like
was.
once, but supposedly I was in that trailer a lot and eating.
I think we only did it one time, but you immediately went to the fridge and they were like, yeah, the guy that used to live here moved out like a year and a half ago. And we opened the fridge and it was full of, I don't remember, I think it was like a fucking yogurt cup or a pudding cup or some shit. And Frank pulled it out and started just chowing down because he was always fucked up on God knows what.
I remember a couple drinking excursions with y'all. But the one that I remember the best, it was out at your place, Joey, and we started a bonfire and we accidentally burned a railroad tie.
Yeah.
So there was just like this horrible smoke. I don't think we realized what we were doing. So there was just this horrible, oily, shitty smoke.
Yeah, because those things are like soaked in tar or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We were like, fuck it, it's firewood. We're gonna be fine. Yeah, that was a bad night. If that was the same night where I blew myself up.
Yeah, with the CO. Yeah,
the dry ice bombs. Those dry ice bombs are so fun, but they're so dangerous, man.
Yeah, you're not supposed to make them.
So dangerous. Imagine if I did that with like a Gatorade bottle, dude. I'd have like a deformity now.
And you know that we all probably have fucking like cancer right now from inhaling all that creosote that got burnt off on that railroad tie.
Nah, we sat upwind. We were fine.
That was the night that thing blew up in your hand magically. You didn't pull the trigger; it just blew up. We don't know what happened.
Wasn't my fault.
Then I had that big fat sack of blueberry cough.
Yeah,
that was like the amount and type of pretty marijuana that most people there only saw in movies.
Yeah, I had never seen that shit other than on TV.
And I had like
I have very little recollection of that night, other than your hand exploding and
I had to
Burning
roll
a
a
railroad
fucking
tie.
joint out of like the first page of a Gideon's Bible.
I remember you doing that and like smoking it in the driveway of my house vividly for some reason.
Gideons are cool. They're my favorite Christians. They leave all these rolling papers around all these hotels.
What's the Bill Hicks bit? What the hell is a Gideon? Has anybody ever seen one?
Yeah, nobody's ever seen a Gideon, but god damn it, aren't they getting in all the hotels and leaving these Bibles?
Shit.
People are just a
Good
virus.
times. How much was a bottle of Boone's Farm? Wasn't it like $1 for a fifth back in the day?
I think it was like less than $3.
They were cheap. I just remember going to one of the parties in that abandoned house over at Joe's,
Oh,
and I remember like opening the fridge and just the whole fridge from top to bottom was Boone's Farm bottles. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Because we were like still not quite to the age. Well, I think we drank beer at the time.
Well, but I mean, like that was.
It was probably mostly for the girls, but we were also drinking it for sure.
One of my favorite
awful,
memories
just awful.
was we had an acquaintance. We had an acquaintance who would steal liquor from a Walmart by going and getting 2 big bags of dog food and then going to the liquor aisle and stuffing tons of bottles of booze underneath in between the 2 dog food bags, and then find the oldest fucking checkout lady and have her just scan the bags. Oh, it's too heavy. Just scan the 2 bags. And then the motherfucker would take the goddamn dog food bags back and get a refund.
That's so fucked.
Get them coming and going, baby.
Oh god, that's terrible. I had a little bit of a judgment test yesterday, the day before. I was at Wally World. I had to get some prescriptions. Picked up the prescriptions. I got a whole bag of Reese's Easter eggs and some oat milk, and I think that was about it. And I was checking out at the self-checkout, and in a bag at self-checkout, there was already a bag full of stuff that somebody had left. And, like, my first reaction was like, ooh, throw it in the cart, free shit. And then,
They're adult diapers and
but I didn't.
jams.
But I did, yeah, I didn't even look. I just took it over. I took it over to the self-checkout lady, and I was like, someone left this. So I was proud of myself. I didn't just score the free shit.
Good for you.
Not saying that I've never stolen from Walmart, because I definitely have. Sometimes intentionally, allegedly. But I've stolen a lot of shit from Walmart, like completely on accident, where you just get out there and you're like loading the cart and you're like, oh shit, that was under, especially like when my kids were in car seats. Fuck, man, all the time. Because you got the car seat up there in that like seat area, right? And shit would just end up under there. And legitimately, I wouldn't try to steal shit, but I'd just come out there and be like, oh fuck, well that happened. I'm not gonna walk back in and be like, I accidentally stole this. Fuck that.
I had like one scam that I did multiple times, and it was like if you went to a Quick Trip, you know they had hot dogs for $1, so you could pull one out of the roller, and then they had these little, styrofoam like warmers. They had the buns in them already, so you'd get one out of the roller, plunk it in the thing, pay for it. You would take the bun out, throw the bun away, put a Red Bull in there. You got Red Bulls for $1 instead of $2.
Fuck yeah! I had a similar thing. I don't remember if it was Quick Trip or what, but you would put your hot dog in like the cardboard carrying thing, and then there was like a thin little plastic window on the top so they could see what you had in there, probably for Red Bull guys. And but right next to it was like the nacho setup. But you're supposed to like pay for pumps of cheese and like the condiments and shit that you put on there. So I would put cheese underneath the dog. I'd hide that cheese so they couldn't charge me for it. you get your bun, you put the cheese pump down first, then you put your hot dog on top. Because otherwise it's like they're gonna charge you 50 cents for cheese. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I ain't paying for that goddamn cheese.
Cheese is a fucking basic human right. We need universal basic cheese.
Especially when it's not even cheese and
Yeah.
it's just like an oil with flavoring added to it. So
UBC.
It's
Universal
fucking
Basic
made out
Cheese.
of goddamn palm oil, and they're deforesting the fucking jungles, and the orangutans don't have fucking homes, but we get fucking palm oil and everything.
Well, what's important, really? when you think about it.
Orangutans
Cheese?
don't deserve to live because they're cannibalistic.
Oh, I thought it was because they're gingers.
Would you rather
That's
have
it.
cheese or a bunch of apes that you'll never meet?
Cheese.
And I can't even verify that orangutans exist. I've never seen one.
Fuck you,
I've
Jane
seen-
Goodall.
I've seen orangutans at the Kansas City Zoo, and I've seen them fist each other.
Yeah, they don't deserve to
I
live
probably have
after what I've seen.
Those are our ancestors, baby.
I've seen them do stuff that are like make you embarrassed
Hey.
when you watch a German website.
Oh, shit. Good times. Fuck you for... Is that one of the alcoholic bangs?
Oh, not yet, dude. It's fucking.
I know, that's why I was like, what the
No.
fuck are you doing, man? Goddamn.
So if anybody,
You're not allowed to act offended at that question, Frank. You know this.
I have been all right. I have been kind of going on some benders lately, but I'm in a really pivotal point in my life, so whatever. I don't give a shit.
Lately.
My bar, dude, my bar tab 2 weeks ago was $260, and I've apologized. But whenever Christy told me what my bar tab was, I guess I pulled change out of my wallet and threw it at her.
You fucking asshole.
Like she's a fucking wishing well. Like I don't remember that, but I
Piece
remember
of shit.
the gay guys at the Waffle House afterwards playing country music on the jukebox.
Hey, I've got a lot of shelves and shit that need hung up in here, so just let me know, man.
But and then my bar tab last Thursday was only $120. But these bangs, they make these alcoholic, and they're fucking fantastic. They used to only sell them in Kansas, so I
Except-
don't have to drive to Kansas.
Except it's not a Bang. It's just a Bang branded seltzer. But I will say that they are like the best tasting ones on the market that I've tried. So,
And now this
because
chick
I don't
over
drink
s-
Bang.
There's this.
Are you trying to get the tab off without opening that?
Yep.
It blows up like a bouncing Betty.
I did it.
Ooh.
Oh, you just bend it up. See,
Yeah.
this is why you had the best grades out of the three of us.
I don't think.
Or well, maybe
why I
maybe you
That's
did, maybe you
absolutely
didn't,
not
but
true.
but you could have.
Yeah, you don't remember that you two graduated and I didn't do that.
I honestly forget that all the fucking time because it doesn't sound real to me. Like you, I mean, I almost said you tried or you did just as much as the us two. Maybe not even that's true, but let's be honest. You're definitely smarter than I am. At least I guess I won't speak for Frank.
Well, I slept through school every day and stayed up really late every night. I did the stupid thing that you do when you're a kid where you do more work not doing the work than the work would be by itself.
Yeah,
You know?
You know, honestly,
Yeah, you had the minimalistic approach.
I probably had the best grades out of all of us here.
Probably. Yeah, I believe that.
I'm pretty sure I did. Did you even have a chemistry class, Hova?
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you in those classes.
Shut the fuck up.
They knew what would happen.
I always toyed with the idea of taking chemistry, but I knew that there would be a decent amount of math involved, and I was like, yeah, fuck all that.
I maintain that the only really important, good, useful class I've ever taken in any education situation, high school, college, whatever, was an electricity class I took in high school in Kansas City before I moved out to where you all lived, because
Yeah.
they taught me how to use breaker boxes and rewire stuff, and that's fucking useful. I replaced.
I wish I would have learned some of that shit, yeah. That's what I think of whenever I think about shit that was... I mean, obviously, there's a bunch of shit you learned along the way that you just don't consider, but,
Yeah.
even some of the shit that we learned in our facts class, just the basics... There's so many people, especially when I was training people for the steakhouse, when we were opening new stores, the amount of people that just don't know how to follow a fucking recipe, don't know the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon, don't have the common sense of, if I'm mixing dry and wet together, which one do I put in the bowl first? That shit... it blew my fucking mind. I'm like, God damn it, how are you surviving in day-to-day life? It didn't make fucking sense to me. So, I would say facts. We even learned a little bit of, I remember I had to make a pillow. We sewed a pillowcase. So, learning basics of like how to patch a fucking a pair of pants or something was kind of cool, even though I don't think I've ever put that to use. Shop class, you know, just the basics of like how to use a fucking table saw without chopping your fucking arm off, and how to use a hammer and gluing wood together and shit. Just, yeah, all that shit.
See, all the stuff that you
helps.
just mentioned is stuff that I learned in a professional setting. Like, I started working in a kitchen with no previous cooking experience. I don't cook at home. I don't do any of that shit.
Right.
I started working at a carpentry place. Had never like touched a power tool. Didn't know shit about how to use saws or drills or whatever you got. Planers. Yeah.
They just need to mix more practical shit into the education system for sure.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, our children are our future, and we're fucked. I mean, like, I was talking to this kid we just hired, and like, they don't have like an auto class or like a welding class or like a carpentry class like that you can do in like your regular school period, like your regular school time, but you can like do vocational school stuff.
It's like VOTEC, yeah.
But it's like and then even like them, but there are. They need to like teach them more stuff like that instead of. It's really cool that you guys have like a 3D printing class or like a programming class, but like manual labor and stuff to still like live, like you still have to know those fucking skills. I mean, how else? I mean,
everybody should have to take like an orienteering sort of basic outdoors stuff class.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basic first aid, that kind of shit.
And see, I learned that kind of shit through like 4-H and what was that? Explorers Club and shit. I think Frank was in those with me too. Like, learned a lot of that kind of shit from extracurricular activities, but not all these, especially kids these days with fucking everybody has an iPad and $1,000 phone at 10 years old. So it's like, you know, you can't blame the kid. If I had that shit, I wouldn't have fucking been in 4-H and shit too, but that stuff helps so much. The other thing that really helped me was, I ended up on the yearbook class just because I knew that would be like a dick around class, and it mostly was, but that and whatever what was it called? Computer science or some shit? I don't remember what it was, but I think we were all forced to take it, but that taught us like the basics of typing and how to use photo editing software and
Excel and shit.
Yeah. It also got some of us kicked off of the school network for like a fucking year and a half. So
well, that was your fucking fault, but yeah, I mean, like I look back at that and I'm like, I wouldn't have known a lot of shit on the computer if it weren't for those classes, and I wish I would have known more. Like, if there were classes that I could have taken, you know, obviously it's like hindsight shit, but if I could have taken classes that taught me more about just video editing and computer stuff in general, that would have been very helpful.
The thing that I've like most wished for though, and most thought that schools should have for a really long time, is like a mandatory finance class.
100%.
You need to understand.
Some of us really
you need to understand like how to pay your taxes and like how to manage your shit a little bit, because that's all stuff that you just have to figure out like later, and it's like so many people do it too late, myself included. So many people just put it off until, you know, it's a fucking issue. And, like, it's just such a bummer. There's absolutely no reason it should be like that here.
Yeah, like if in high school, I had no concept of the idea that, like, some people pay their taxes, some people don't pay the taxes on their income based on what it is and have to, you know, are responsible to pay for it on their own, and then some people get a refund and some people don't, and you pay more based on what you do, and there's different I mean, like, if I would have known any of that in high school, that would have been such fucking useful life information that kids just have no idea because it's not taught to them. I remember Tech Prep Math taught us how to balance a checkbook, and at the time I was like, oh, this is actually really useful, and then I kind of realized that by the time I had like a checking account and shit, that checkbooks were basically already obsolete because everything was just already online, but at least they were trying. It was just outdated information.
Yeah. We did that in grade school. I remember that too. I remember being like, this is useful for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And then we're fucked.
I remember like they made us do that project where it was how would you spend $1 million? And it like opens your mind to how much $1 million is and how hard it would be to spend $1 million. Like at the time. But they also like, they don't give you the idea of like, to make $1 million, you actually have to like make $2 million because of taxes and all the, you know what I mean? It's just, it's such a complicated thing that kids just have no concept of, and they should be taught that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Stop, Frank. No. Which Spider-Man is that?
What would I do?
This episode's getting yanked, dude.
Which Spider-Man is this?
Yeah.
Can you not tell by the facial features?
I mean, that Spider-Man one looks sort of like the fucking PlayStation one.
He looks very similar to this one.
Ram and Stanky. Dude, I miss 4-H. 4-H was fucking fun. And I won all the awards because I did shit that nobody else in the state of Missouri did. I had a fucking beehive.
Because they were illegal.
And I had I did a fossil collection shadow box, like multiples of those, and an arrowhead one, and like everybody was like sewing quilts and shit. But I had like a goddamn beehive and honey and like.
You know why 4-H is fucking awesome? Because it breaks the mold of the education system where like you're forced to learn all these subjects that you don't give a fuck about, even if you're like passionate about something as simple as math or a certain career choice or whatever. But then you go into 4-H and they give you a catalog of like 1,000 different things. And they're like, hey, you want to learn about fossils? You can learn about fossils. You want to learn about fucking bees? You can learn about bees. You want to, I did a gun, like I think it was like shooting safety / like we went out on a target range and learned how to shoot paper targets and, you know, properly aim and stuff like that. And all that shit was, even though it sounds simple and everything, I mean, it was fucking very practical and beneficial. It taught me like, even my own parents, I've gone over to my mom's house in the last few years and like brought one of my Glocks out, and she was talking about getting something for personal, you know, for self protection, and I was like, you know, try this. It was my little Glock 14,
She's just
43
in the fucking room.
Dude, I handed it to her and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's ex-military. Like, what the fuck? She's swinging the shit around
what's
like
going on? I like this.
I couldn't
The
believe
sights
it,
are
man.
cool.
I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, god damn. Maybe she's just fucking stupid, but I don't know. Those I took a hunter safety course. I think it was 4-H, or maybe it was just some other shit that we signed up for, but man, those classes are important. They need to fucking... Hunter safety courses, I think, should be mandatory, because even if you don't give a fuck about guns, you have no intention of ever using a firearm, what's the chances that you're not going to end up at a friend's house or some shit and their dad has a gun, and you might stumble upon it, you know?
It's just information you need to have. Like, your political leanings, your personal beliefs,
Yeah,
none of that shit matters. Like, you just... That's important information.
Yeah. There's guns here. You should be educated even if it's the bare minimum basics. You should know that, you know, like, not all guns have a safety. So even if you think that it's probably, you know, like, it might not be, and you never have your fucking finger on the trigger unless you're intending to shoot it. You never point at anything that you don't intend to kill, blah, 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 all that fucking basic shit. Like, hunter safety course had just shit that you would never think to, like what to do with your rifle if you have to climb a barbed wire fence. And like, and still to this day, if that scenario comes up, and it has, like, you're like, oh yeah, I remember what I learned back when I was like fucking 12.
And just because it has a tack light on it doesn't mean that you can leave the gun laying somewhere and use it as a flashlight to help your buddy move stuff into his house at night.
That's false.
That sounds weirdly specific.
Yeah, that happened.
Well,
that did
and
happen.
like, what's fucked up is it wasn't loaded.
Maybe,
like,
I think.
And like, there was that fucking shooting in St. Louis, like, in the last week or so. It was like a 12-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl or something like that. And she was like taking an Instagram video. She was on Instagram Live with a fucking pistol at a birthday party at like 2 a.m. Like, have some goddamn fucking common sense. Like, I don't remember probably 9 or 10 whenever I like first started like being around guns, but like
Yeah, I mean,
it was like safe. Like
I think kids are just a lot more fucking stupid these days, but also, I mean, the parents too. Because then, the first question is like, why was that gun accessible at all? Like, all of my pistols are in biometric gun safes. You can't fucking get that shit out unless you have this right here. And then all my rifles, all my long guns and shit are all in a big safe with a combination, and it's a big heavy motherfucking safe that like it's just not gonna. I think it's just shitty parents that still like have a pistol in a drawer next to the bed and shit like that. You're just asking for trouble. I mean, kids are curious. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking gun or a vibrator. They're gonna go in there and play with it. They're gonna stick it in their mouth.
Yeah.
So in other news, have you guys played any like video games recently? Because
I play lots of games.
I got this new Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six game, and it's just a bunch of
Tams Clancy,
gay people in turbans.
What?
What are you? Who are you?
Rainbow Six, SAKH 6.
You're
Seeks.
an idiot.
It's pronounced Seeks, not Six.
Rainbow Six.
I have.
All right, I get it.
I've recently decided that I am going to 100% the SpongeBob A Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated. So, pretty pumped about that. I got to get 100 socks. I think I'm at 76. Or no, not 100 socks. It's 80 socks, 100 golden spatulas. So, I'm pretty excited for that. I think I have 9 achievements left.
I just 100%ed 2 games, actually, in the last, 3 or 4 days.
How many times have you beat Elden Ring?
How many times? I've only beaten Elden Ring once. My clear time was 136 hours.
Are you on New Game Plus 3?
No, I'm just still on New Game Plus. I'm good. I'm probably going to return to it. I'm probably going to beat it at least once or twice more. But I need a break because I went hard on that shit for a while. But I 100%ed Vampire Survivors, which if you haven't played that on Steam, it's $3, and it's a super satisfying little kind of roguelike game where you just become obscenely powerful and it turns the screen into a fucking slot machine light show.
Oh,
and the other one.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The other one was. I can't remember what the title is. It's got a long, unwieldy title. It's you must remove the sword to be named king or something like that. It's free on Steam.
Of course it is. With a title like that, why wouldn't it be?
The idea is that there's 2 modes. There's an offline and an online mode. And what you do is there's a sword and a stone. And you grab it with your mouse and you try to pull it out of the stone. Except it's crazy fucking heavy and it's crazy fucking long. And every time somebody online successfully pulls the sword from the stone, it becomes heavier and longer. So the more people playing, the harder it is to become king. And I did it.
At that moment or cumulatively?
Cumulatively.
Interesting.
So I guess after a set amount of time, it starts to decay to make it possible again. But yeah, I had to rebind some stuff and, figure out some things. Because if your mouse slips off the sword, you drop it.
Interesting.
It took me a half hour.
Then they should add the option where other players can connect and just rub Vaseline all over the sword just to fuck you up.
It's hard enough. If you go play it now, don't. There's no real reason to. It's not really much of a game, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
So I want to give a. You had to what?
I had to bind stuff to a controller using Steam settings and do all kinds of shit.
Terrible. Anything where you have to rebind controls like that is especially emulators. Fuck all that, man.
Oh yeah,
it's almost always a
complete. What were you about to say?
Ass. I found a game on Xbox sale. I was gonna let you guys know. I don't know if there's any interest or not, but it's so cheap that I just went ahead and bought it. It's I'm starting to do on Xbox what I did on Steam, where I just have 6,000 games, and I'll probably only play 20 of them, but, they're there for a rainy day, right? But I found Saints Row 4 is on sale right now. I know it's not the most popular in the series, but it's like $3.40. So it got added to the library. If you guys are interested.
It's fun. It's fun for just a good old Texas fuck around. You know, it's
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
yeah.
I was also looking at Crackdown and Crackdown 2 are available, so I might pick, I know I beat Crackdown 1. I don't think I ever beat Crackdown 2. So I might pick that one up. I even played through Crackdown 3. I didn't hate it. It got shit reviews and it was like rushed and pretty bad, but I beat it. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I really like, for whatever reason, I don't get into like RPG elements and shit, but Crackdown has always been something I've enjoyed, where you have to like get the agility orbs to increase your agility rating, and you know, your strength and all that shit goes up as you play. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm a hardcore PS5 fanboy now.
Uh-oh.
Why is that?
My Xbox is just, it's my YouTube machine now. It's just, if you see my
I
setup,
must take call. Be right back.
I've got a really stupid setup. And he wouldn't care about this anyway, so this is cool.
Hello?
So my setup downstairs, it's changed since you and Wolf were over here last.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically I have a big TV, and then I have a small TV, and then I have like the arcade shit that I'm working on. And a record, there's a record player there too. But like basically I have like a sofa like right there, and I have like just content creation of just like multiple TVs where I can just boom, 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 boom. And so the side TV is usually like for YouTube or stuff. YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. And it's just been on like fucking YouTube for like the past 3 weeks. And because I moved my PS5 over, and I've just been playing like all sorts of shit on the PS5. And the Xbox is just kept collecting dust.
Do you need me to play Returnal with you now that there's co-op?
You can go fuck yourself.
Okay.
I want to uninstall everything from Returnal, but how is the co-op on it, though?
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I haven't touched my PS5 in a little while, so
I need to find...
I made the dumb decision of buying the Demon Souls remake right before Elden Ring came out, because I was like really jonesing for that shit, and now it's just sitting there. I'm like, oh fuck, I really do want to play it, but it's you know.
So the Final Fantasy game is super Souls-like, and it's super satisfying to me because I like the combat in like Bloodborne and shit more than I do fucking Elden Ring and like the other Souls game. Like I like it to be like a little bit more faster paced. If I'm gonna do like that type of shit, like where whenever you're focused on something, basically all of your dodges, you're just moving around in a circle, not like you have to dodge, roll at somebody underneath their sword swing or around their tail and know the nuances. Like, that's too much complicated for me.
You might like Sekiro. Sekiro is similar in that way, where it's like, it's a pretty aggressive game. It has the same sort of the poise system that Elden Ring has, basically.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way you like really hurt people in Sekiro is that everyone has these like little poise dots, and when you deplete their like poise meter, you get to take away one of their dots, basically. So, you like by actually like doing damage to somebody, you're not really hurting them that much. What you really want to do is stuff that fucks their poise up, which you can do with like counters.
That one, and then Sifu has been like, it's like on a recommended list for me, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'm really getting balls deep into the fucking Tiny Tina's bullshit, which
that's good.
I didn't realize.
Sifu is good, for the record. I just want to say that it's pretty solid.
Like, it's hard to explain. Like, Borderlands has always been like games that I liked, but then like I don't. I always get like so far into it, and then it just like, nah, I'm kind of done with this. But I really want to see how many hours I've gotten into Tiny Tina, because it's Borderlands with fucking magic.
That actually sounds pretty fun. That sounds pretty good.
So instead of having like your shields, you have a ward system, which is basically the same thing as the shields. You still have, you know, your little vending machines for your items. It's literally Borderlands, but with magic and trolls and shit, and it's pretty fun, and then it really sucks because it's like the first like, well, some people play games faster than I do, but like I would say that the first 6 or 7 hours that I was playing it was like the onboarding process, where it should probably only take like 3 hours for you, but I was exploring parts of the map that I didn't realize you really shouldn't even fuck around with in the very beginning at all. So I was just, getting lost. And once I got to like the 6 or the 7 hour mark, which probably is only like hour 3 for most people or hour 2, like it just opens up and it's so fucking fun to just go around and fucking do shit. And like I didn't realize I really do like the Borderlands games, but
They're really fun. I haven't played a Borderlands since I think I finished 2. I don't remember. I definitely played pre-sequel a little bit. I don't think I finished it, but I like Tiny Tina might pull me back in just because the concept sounds so novel and like there's like amazing talent for the voice acting. I've heard that the writing is actually pretty good, which is not what I usually associate with Borderlands.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, and there's a lot of like inclusivity stuff, which is really cool. Except for I didn't realize like it took me so long to get to where like I could change my character and stuff. But you can like your pronouns and your voices and all that. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, and the game like respects that and will only refer to you with those. And
That's cool.
you can like be whatever the fuck you want to be. I have a mushroom companion. I've got a gigantic mushroom that follows me around. Looks like a little Shop
That's fun.
Floors thing.
I feel like I also have to talk about Ghostwire Tokyo right now because I've been playing that a lot this last week
So
too.
pretty.
I bought it the day it came out because I was excited. I really wanted to check it out. It's fine. It's fine. It's not. It's really lacking in depth is the main issue with it. Like the Tokyo is pretty fun to bop around. Like climb buildings and rescue ghosts and do all the side quests and talk to dogs and shit like that. It's fun.
Two-tailed kitties.
Two-tailed kitties that sell you things. Sell you some yakitori.
As they do.
But the combat in the game, like I can fully explain to you all of the possibilities the combat system possesses in probably the span of like 3 minutes. It's really simple. Like you have access to 4 weapons and some like talismans that act as grenades. They're consumables basically. And I mean, like your weapons you can upgrade a little bit. There's a skill tree, but it's not so much of a tree as it is a line. Like you make them a little stronger. You can shoot them a little faster. You have a regular attack and a charge attack for each weapon. That's pretty much all there is. It's pretty basic, and that's I don't know. It just bums me out because so much the rest of the game has so much cool stuff going for it. Like all the yokai and all the demons you get to meet and talk to and chase and fight and all this cool shit. Yeah, it's just not there gameplay wise though. It's a bummer.
I'd heard like probably 2 or 3 reviews on that on different podcasts so far, and I think that one of the complaints that somebody had about that was like the dialogue. Because, like, the original Japanese version, the dialogue is much shorter because they can explain a lot more of the story in fewer characters. But they said that, like, the dialogue and shit in the game, like, really sucks. Like, it's really long.
I mean, there are some times where somebody will complete a line and you have to wait for a second for them to start the next line, and it does feel like it drags stuff out. But you can also skip. Like you can once somebody's done with a line reading, you can just boop past it. Or you can read it with your eyeballs if you have subtitles on it, then just skip to the next line.
And then they said that something about like kind of like the onboarding and tutorial stuff really wasn't that in depth. But if you've played any modern games, like I guess there's a bunch of fog around everywhere, and then you have to like climb up or something, kind of like Assassin's Creed, where you open up your view or whatever by climbing up on the peaks of the towers, and then the fog goes away, kind of.
There are Torii gates that are around the map, and you find a Torii gate, you cleanse the gate, which usually summons some monsters that you fight off. Then you cleanse the gate, and then it opens up the area around it.
It
Usually,
looks fucking beautiful, though.
it's
like,
a
the
great
aesthetic
looking
alone
game.
is fantastic. The street views and shit
They're-
are like gorgeous.
And there are some things in it that are really, really cool, like little effects. There's like a certain type of ghost that when you find them, if you're walking down the street, and the street has like markings on it, like paint to indicate, this lane is here, turn right here, that kind of shit that we see on all the roads. But when you see this ghost, if there's one nearby, it starts to like wave and starts to like come off the pavement and like ripples past you. It's a really cool little effect. It's a game with a lot of cool ideas, but
Not a lot of depth.
it's just not quite there.
So you're saying they need to add a battle royale?
No, they need to add like 8 more weapons. You need to add a lot more options.
And then a battle royale.
And then a battle royale.
Dude, imagine a battle royale in a city that looks that good.
Yeah, we had
Fuck,
we had Hyperscape. We had Hyperscape.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. That game was fun for a day or two.
I would a mode in that game where you could play like as the ghost hunter against different types of ghosts that had like their own little mechanics. That would actually be pretty fun because there's a fair variety of different enemy types and stuff in the game that you can horse around with. Again, it could probably still use more variety though in that way as well.
I'm super excited for.
You just had a bang and now you're having a Red Bull at 11 o'clock?
He's built.
When's the last time a doctor looked at your heart?
Tomorrow at 4:00.
He's going to be like, you should be dead right now.
Don't you just
What happened?
misgendered her. I am excited for Weird West to come out. Did you get on any of the beta shit? You got on the beta stuff, didn't you?
I
Can you
did.
talk-
It
you
was
can't
under
talk about
NDA,
it?
so I still don't want to talk
Spill
about
the
it
beans,
necessarily.
motherfucker!
I think I got an email about that too.
I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you about my time playing Weird West in the beta. I'm gonna buy it tomorrow.
Is there no multiplayer at all?
Fucking flies.
No,
Okay, so I don't know if I want to get it on PC or if I want to get it on the old PlayStation 5. Is it on PlayStation 5?
yes, it's hitting everything except Switch, basically, which is kind of a bummer. I think it would fit on the Switch.
Did you guys hear that they're gonna put fucking Halo Infinite on the Switch next year?
What?
Yeah, I saw
No.
a tweet. I saw a tweet.
No, I don't believe you.
I think Call
No,
of
you
Duty,
like to fuck
there's
with me.
a pretty big rumor that that's going to happen.
You like to fuck with me
heard it
'cause you
here
know I'm gullible.
First. You heard it here first. They're putting Halo Infinite on the Switch, even though Phil Spencer said that Halo is only going to be on Microsoft products.
You mean
For
Spence
Halo.
Filler?
What else am I excited for? I'm excited as fuck for Weird West. Then there's another, there's a VR game that Devolver's doing, like where you're like an octopus or some shit. I want to
Yep.
fucks with that.
It's
looks
a
fun.
VR game? Oh, VR. I thought you were talking
Yes,
about an
VR.
octopus battle royale, and I was like, sign me the fuck up.
That does sound kick-ass.
Do you guys remember the shark/diver shooter game that came out a while back?
Depth.
Yes. Did we play that together?
Yes, I do. No, I've never played it, but
I played that with some friends, and it was surprisingly decent. Sharks versus divers with like harpoon guns and shit. It was
I
enjoyable.
bet that was way better than
What's
than the shark game that came out, and it had what's his face doing the voice acting. It sucked balls.
Shark Tale.
Maneater.
Man,
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
There's shut up. There was a game that was it's had a few beta periods. I think it's called Midnight Ghost Hunt, and I think that we should give that a shot when it comes out because it's pretty fucking fun. It's basically like 4-player Ghostbusters versus like X number of player controlled ghosts who can like hide in objects and stuff and jump out and like do they all have different abilities and
Is there
stuff. I played
VR?
I don't know if it has VR support or not.
Because that'd be cool. Because like somebody could be like a plant a plant in a vase, and they're like talking to you, and you're pulling like a Louis C.K. and you jerk off into the plant.
So the plant can't consent, Frank. And the difference here is that all of Louis C.K.'s friends did. Anyways, so I want another, like, do you guys remember that raft game where you're like on a raft and you can play it co-op and you have to like gather trash as it goes by to craft shit to survive and then escape. It was actually really fun. I want more like co-op survival games like that. And the other one was really good too. Was it Forest? I think it was called Forest.
The Forest.
Yeah, where you're like in a plane crash and it's a survival game and it seems very like copy paste survival like every other fucking bullshit whatever. But there was like actually a storyline that you could complete with a boss battle at the end and shit. And it's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't played through that, I would even be interested. I would probably play through it again. It's a good time.
Survival games are a real hard sell for me, but I could give it a shot. I'm sure that
That's
I've
right.
been
You
given
didn't
it
like Grounded
at some
and all
point.
that shit.
Yeah, not really. I just don't like building a base has no appeal to me. I just really don't enjoy it. I really
I
don't.
love Fortnite.
Yeah. Well, it depends on like.
Well, that's why Fortnite's good now because you don't have to do that shit anymore.
Yeah. True. I don't know. I think the older I get, the more I realize that I still want to play multiplayer games, but I'm like leaning towards PvE type shit, you know, survival games and stuff like that. But then, like, they really have to, like, there has to be a really good progression system or something there to hook me because I just don't get the same, like, endorphins from, you know, shooting NPCs that I do real players.
PvP is exhausting after a certain point.
Exactly. I think, especially when you start getting to our age, it's just like, fuck, man.
It just
Plus, you're not
wears
as good
it wears
anymore.
you out, yeah.
Yeah.
But in accordance with what you're saying, I know what your reaction's going to be. But Destiny's a great PvE shooter. It really is. I mean, I know your opinions on it.
I think that one's too grindy for me too, though. Like I want a little bit more of a casual. I did the Division 2 with some high school buds, and that was okay. But most Ubisoft games suck butthole, so you know there's just going to be all those Ubisoft issues. I know John right now is playing through Wildlands with one of his friends and wants people to get in on it with him. And then he's going to Breakpoint after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would go back there. I would do that.
I want to play on Xbox for achievements though, and I don't think there's fucking crossplay.
No, you don't.
So
I had the console. I had the PS4 version of Wildlands, and I don't know why, but the controls felt really laggy, like really delayed, shitty, bad.
I know the problem. It's Ubisoft is the issue there.
But I mean, if I play with a controller on PC, it's fine. So
that's what prostitutes call me.
Ubisoft.
Dude, I would totally fuck around with Breakpoint again, especially now that I've got two much better graphics cards than the first.
Yes.
There's a secret area, and there's like fucking T1000s fucking everywhere, and it's so god.
I don't know if I ever played Breakpoint.
There's like robots and shit.
And they're never bringing in the. There's still the Predator missions, but they're never gonna have the Terminator missions again in it.
I forgot that the really cool thing that they did with Breakpoint is that you have to buy it on Uplay. Or actually, I don't even think you could buy it on Uplay. I think you have to buy it like on their fucking website and then link it to your Uplay or some dumb shit.
We got
Didn't
it
they
for
also
free on Epic.
Aren't they also
it's on Epic? Well, fuck, I'll just do that.
Yeah, I bought it
fuck
on
everything
Epic,
about
I think.
Uplay.
Yeah, don't get... Oh, God, no. Isn't Breakpoint also the game that they're introducing NFTs into?
Some bullshit. There's... Oh, God. I actually think I saw that.
Am I the only one that doesn't, like, fully understand the like, resistance to that, I guess? Like, I get that it's not a popular idea, just like crypto wasn't, and this is like tenfold that, because it's even like stupider. But like we basically had NFTs in game on Steam for a very long time. Like obviously it's different, it's not like blockchain and shit like that, but basically the same fucking principle. I just don't understand the resistance to it. It's I mean, yeah, some games are going to do it and it's going to be terrible and it's just going to be a cash grab and fail, but you know, some games might do it right and it could be cool too.
And how much
digital ownership could be cool
on that? Because you made like you told me you were bragging about it one night whenever we were drinking that you made like $120,000 off of CS:GO skins.
Wait, what was the question?
There was no question.
I mean, I cannot confirm nor deny the amount of money that I made off of CS:GO skins, but yeah, I definitely made a lot of money off CS:GO skins. I was sponsored by some of the websites and shit, and had a lot of them. And then at the time, there was ways to cash them out for Bitcoin. And instead of like cashing them out for like real money, because I had income in other areas, I was just like, I'll just turn all this shit into Bitcoin, see what happens. And then Bitcoin went from, like whenever I cashed them out for Bitcoin, they were like, the price of a Bitcoin was like $3,700. So you could imagine how much that turned into. And yeah, I did all right in the CS:GO game, But I've always loved the system, like, as long as they're transparent about your chances of getting things, and like in CS:GO, you can earn not only the skins but the cases in game just from gameplay. You have to buy the keys to open the shit, but that's the name of the game, whatever. But then you have like something that not only looks really fucking cool in game, but you're like, if it's not cool to you, you could throw it on the marketplace, get a little bit of money back, and then spend it on more in-game content or just buy other games with it. Like, that fucking system is amazing, if you ask me. I think, like, if Xbox had that shit where, like, you're earning crates in Halo Infinite and then you open shit and you're like, well, I don't want this BR skin, so I'll just sell it for Xbox credits and then I can use that to fucking buy Fortnite V-Bucks or whatever. Like, who wouldn't get behind that idea, in my opinion? I think it's... At least it's not just like, oh, I have a pretty skin that's locked to the game that I'll never see any return from or whatever. If you can exchange that for credits that are not only able to be reused in that game, but on anything on the system, I'm a fan for that system all the way around. I mean, obviously there's lots of ways to do it wrong and right, but
I think part of the issue is that we can't go into a whole NFT thing right now because we're already like an hour and 15 minutes or whatever. But like part of it is that anything with crypto is like so comically terrible for the environment because it's like nothing about it is
it's not green.
Nothing about it is efficient or like works well, really. I mean, it's all kind of hodgepodge together and it's like kind of a disaster. But also like the idea of an art team making like a helmet that one person ever can have kind of bums me out. Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good use of resources. Video games are already like really expensive, and I think if you're going to fold in like extra costs to have people create what I'm sure would have to be thousands of unique items for the purposes of doling them out one at a time as NFTs, it's like it seems like a bad move. It does not seem like a good idea.
You just pull a Rockstar and make fucking AI make all of the things.
Because, like with the Steam Marketplace, all the things that are on there, those are things that you can get. There's no cap on how many, like, cool knives you can get in CS:GO, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
You have a certain you have a certain percentage odd chance of getting them,
right?
Which, affects the rarity of it, but there's not a finite number. Right. Unless, like, an event ends or whatever. And then
yeah. There's the difference is that, yeah.
Yeah. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't know. It bums me out.
Yeah, I guess I don't necessarily love the idea of the NFT system itself. I just wish that it was more like... I wish more games were doing that Steam Marketplace CS:GO system. I think that's a really
I think that's valid.
Good... Yeah, especially, like, even... something I always forget about with Steam is when you earn achievements and shit, you get like those title cards and stuff that are also marketable, and they're usually worth like almost nothing. But I went through the other day, I played CS:GO for so many hundreds of hours that I just was getting all those achievements, not realizing it. And, even though they're whatever, 5 cents a piece or whatever, I had hundreds of them, and I just, I fucking bulk sold them all. And then you get a little bit of cash for the marketplace, and I think that's really fucking cool. It's a neat way for players to earn off of their gameplay.
I made like $20. I went through like 2 or 3 years ago. I made like $20 and I bought a video game with it.
Yeah, and that's amazing.
Because people want
that should be embraced.
Badges. They want to have those badges on their profiles.
I had some TF2 hats that were worth a couple $100. I sold way back when.
Yep. Yeah, I remember
Anyways,
I had a founders like PUBG. I was like one of the first players or whatever, so they had like a founders pack or some shit. And like the jacket that they gave me ended up being worth like $900. I was like, what the fuck? So I sold that shit. There was like a pair of shoes, a jacket, and a hat or something, and they were fucking ridiculously valuable.
Before we get off here, I have to correct you. You said PUBG, and it's actually PUBG Battlegrounds. You need to say the name properly. Throw some respect on that name.
Player Unknown's Battlegrounds.
Or
Yeah.
you need to get that video game's name out your fucking mouth.
I still prefer the original nickname that somebody said, which was PlUnkBat. First 2 letters of everything.
Oh, yeah.
That works. I like it.
PlUnkBat. Thank you to Javelin for letting us use your song, Soda Popinski.
Yeah, boy, we about to get on Fortnite, play some of that no build.
That's right. Now it's actually fun.
We'll see you guys on the battlefield.
What's the word?
The word of today is
BattleBots.
PlUnkBat.